Welcome to our June 13th Water and Sewer meeting. Peter, you want to make a motion to accept the minutes?
I move that we accept the minutes from the May 2nd meeting.
Okay, great. So moved. First on the agenda is just the cat and dog fountain. I know that you guys really put a lot of time in that and it's appreciated. And I just want to, publicly thank you guys for it because it's a lot of work. It's nice helping everybody. That relationship now is really nice and, a lot of work and it looks good. If you ever get the rest of it, it's going to be fine. The grass is coming in and.
When's the cap go back on it?
You mean the actual fountain part?
No, is that it for the pool part?
Yeah, except there's some kind of a coating that goes inside where the water
Okay.
is.
I thought there were like these top stones.
Oh, they're on it.
Oh, they're on it.
Oh, they're on it.
Okay. Last time I looked.
That looks
Never
good.
in town. I don't know.
Yeah, they're on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's moving ahead. It looks great. Town meeting articles. Thanks to Tony and Mike also for being there, which is always shows support, and it's great that you guys do that. Updates on the articles?
I haven't done anything with my articles yet, to be honest.
Okay.
So water plant painting, I'm working with, we have a spec that we used for the the roof of the water plant and the wastewater plant. So I just have to kind of fine tune that and, we can get three prices because it's most likely going to be under 50,000. So that is in the works. And I talked to the guy that does a lot of painting for us just to make sure we don't miss anything. And then, we got the valves, the inline valves that we're going to have put in. One's over by, Jay Bykowski's house on Larry Wog. And one of the other ones is on, kind of right near Deer Lake and Park on 183, where the water line goes kind of under that garage and through the brook down to the old pump house. We really don't have any way to shut that off anymore because that used to be where the water came from with the pump station. So we want to make sure we got control of that street better if something breaks in that brook ever, if we have a problem with that pipe. So those two, I have not called on that yet because I know it's just scheduling. They're pretty readily available. One's a 10-inch and one's an 8-inch. And it's just a matter of just scheduling it. That's all. Mm-hmm. And the other thing was, what was it? Oh, the chlorine analyzers and the chlorine analyzer and the 2 turbidimeters. I can order those from Hawk. I got to do it after July 1st because the bill will come through with the wrong date on it. I just have to order those and they'll show up at the plant and we can put them in. Okay. So
With that painting, does that include the floor too or not?
no,
Rather not do
it's
the
all,
floor?
we got to have some more, we patched the floor once and it's one of the problem area that we have is where the bleach is. And if the bleach
Leaches out.
and gets out of the containment pallet or whatever, or we get some on the floor, the salt over 20 something years and it gets down into the concrete and then the rebar starts to expand and it starts popping the floor. And that's another problem we're going to have. And I think I'll put on for a special article for the next year's meeting. We got to do something with the loading dock stairs. They're just getting the water's getting down in. We used the self-leveling caulk where they drilled the holes in the concrete where the railings set in, the water gets in there and it just pops them all apart. So I don't know if cutting them off and putting in
Like plates.
a stainless steel set or something, having a set welded and just made it to be bolted to the side of the loading dock is
Exactly. Yeah. Instead
so
of
because it's salt, we have to put salt on the loading dock and that's another part. The rebar got salted, when the rebar is up kind of close to the top of the concrete floor or pad, the salt makes its way down in and just starts popping everything apart.
So what are you thinking on the inside of the plant where you've gotten this problem?
What we did
is the concrete like it flaking away?
No, we took where I started, you can see the rust spot where the rebar is close to the top. And you can start to feel a hump. So Marky and I I don't know how many years ago, we cut out a spot because the floor is really thick. I was really worried that we were gonna have some kind of issue like down in the clear well, but they're like, no, you don't have to worry about that. So we cut it out, cleaned it all up. We put that rust converter stuff on the rebar, and we mixed up concrete ourselves, Portland mix. Poured it, and that's still okay, but now it's adjacent to it that's starting to come apart. So I don't know. And you know, in this area we're in right now with the workforce, there's so much new work. This little stuff, nobody even is going to deal with it, especially if they're good concrete people. So, I mean, we can do the same thing we did. The other thing to think about is like, do we have the floor etched with a grinder? You know, they come in with those grinding wheels.
Well,
and then epoxy it, or
that's exactly what I was going to say.
epoxy it with
And then it's sealed.
a chemical resistant surface and just have it done.
This doesn't, so it'll stop what's happening.
The problem is like all of our chemicals and all of our the pallets, the containment pallets they're on. I don't know if we'll have to do it piecemeal type of thing, or because you can't really get rid of we will have to figure that out. It's, you know, we might have to pull stuff out and we can put smaller day tanks in or something, just 5-gallon buckets even. I mean, if we really got to, and keep them up off the floor for a day or two or something. Do it in the wintertime. And we don't have, our demand is so low, we could probably shut things down. But anyway, I think once the painting's really done in this, it's going to look really super nice. But I think the floor is the next thing we really ought to kind of focus on.
Now, is that going to be the office also?
The office, I actually put quite a bit of, like 4 hours into it a couple of weeks ago, and I stripped it. I didn't realize the issue I was having on that floor was I had waxed it a year or two ago, and the wax, it might have been a little older. It started to yellow, and I put some stripper on it because I was cleaning it with some degreaser, and it got all really nasty. And I'm like, man, maybe there's still wax on this thing. So I put stripper on it, and it all came up, and the floor's as white as your shirt. So I don't know and it's such a small area. I think it's something that we could do just in the regular budget when we get to that point. But next time you're down, you can take a look at it. But I think that out in the process area is a really good idea to think about getting that done.
Yeah.
It'll clean
It's a
it up.
long-term fix.
Yeah.
With epoxy,
Yeah.
seal it.
And those guys with all those epoxies, we can probably jackhammer up the rebar that's doing its thing, and they can probably patch that in because they have all these things that they use, and we should be in pretty good shape. So
Okay.
I think those are all the articles I had. Those are the three that I've been working on. So
Park Street Pump Station.
Yeah, we're coming along. We have, every second Thursday, we have a call-in meeting with the engineer. And there's been a couple things that, a couple minor little things that have occurred, in the process of submittals and stuff. But overall, we're on target to start in mid-July. So, hooray.
Yeah.
back on that last one, Donnie, the other one was Elm Maple Engineering. So I did talk with Foresight, and they said they wouldn't have any problem fitting that in on their schedule. So they're going to be the ones that we use to do that. I told them next summer, obviously, we're hoping the Tuckerman and the other water main extension over there will be on the docket. So this won't be at the same time. So it's not like a massive rush to get this thing all done. So this is something.
How's the progress from Tuckerman's? I know they did some more boring.
They did a couple more borings, and I know Huey was down there talking with Joe, the guy that's the bridge engineer. I'm sure Mike knows more about it. They had to do a couple more borings just to find something more out about the existing abutment. That's all I really know about that.
Okay, and then ionized,
Yeah, so that's a special article that, we're going to get going here, phase 4 of, I guess. So that's going to happen this fiscal year coming up. Probably will be after Labor Day sometime, or because of where it is, most of the work is going to be up in the Mackinac area. I don't think they're going to want to be around Beechwood and all that area in the summer.
no,
It'd be almost impossible to do it, actually.
no, what about the issue with the sewer in Glendale?
Yeah, it's still ongoing. I met over there quite a while ago with a contractor, and it doesn't seem feasible to dig it up. So I've been trying to get somebody to call me back and to do a point repair, a trenchless repair. They crawl in the pipe with, robotic, whatever,
And do a patch?
and do a patch. But there again, small job, hard to get people.
priority.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was, obviously, because we haven't had, it's been a dry spring and everything, but it's still ongoing, to answer your question.
Okay. All right, and the master plan?
That is, we had a meeting on it. I can't remember if this is in the same. We had a meeting and, we have a bunch of stuff, being the master plan. There was a lot of private stuff in there that they didn't realize. Hydrants, we have, I want to say 19 or 20 private hydrants. So that all kind of gets tallied in our end tally on costs for replacement. I'm like, well, we don't need that in there because it's not our stuff. And there's a lot of private water line sections that are in there. So I think I saw an email because I've been emailing them, like, when do you want to, I got to sit down. Somebody's got to come out here, sit with me and go through all this stuff that we don't want in there. And they just sent an email. I believe it was yesterday. I think it was Justin Skelly from DPC. So I have to sit with him, go through everything to make sure we don't want the number to be bigger than it needs to be with all the private stuff in there, the stuff that we don't have to. And I want the way they had the list. I want the oldest water mains up top as priority to get those ones replaced, the cast iron and all that. And some of the water mains that were only 10 years old were up in it was just, I wanted to kind of have a chronological order. So we knew the older stuff
Yeah,
was.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, it's, I would say 85%, 90% all taken care of. We just got to kind of fine tune that final list. And then I'd really like to go sit with finance committee and Mike Canales and the board and just say, here's what we have. We're just letting you know how we move forward from here is we all need to work together and try to figure it out. So that's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Hydrant flushing and I know we're flushing and
Yeah.
how about any response from that letter that you sent?
The letter,
Jennifer's letter that,
For painting.
for the painting, for the,
oh yeah, he called me 3 times today while we were golfing.
trying to get the boy.
They want to be,
trying to get the
they want to
boys
come down tomorrow. I'm like, I don't have paint. I got to get a map for you guys. I said Thursday, give me tomorrow to go.
Get
I don't
some
even know if
paint.
the hardware store is going to have the paint you need. So they
Is
want
that
to.
oil paint?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I couldn't get oil paint here. So I was just happened to be up in Manchester, Vermont, and they made a 6 screen. That's what my shutters and everything is. It cost me $85 for that gallon of paint.
Oh, yeah.
$85.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Don, a gallon of interior paint is
I
that
couldn't
much
believe it.
now.
Yeah.
Seriously, I couldn't. believe it.
Henry carries the quarts of the Rust-Oleum oil.
I know
We
that.
use the hunter green and we use the gloss white.
Yeah.
And he usually has quite a bit of that, but they'll go through it quick. So I just got to get those little throwaway brushes. I got the rubber gloves, those things are sometimes hard to find. So I just got to make sure I got everything for them. So
So they're ready to go.
I think Thursday they'll be here and they usually do it in a couple days.
No, they're going to do all of it on top of East Street.
Oh yeah. I just got to, tomorrow I got to go and weed whack them and make sure they're,
And one in front
I
of
got a bunch of them weed whacked, but I don't
Mike
have all
Hall's
of them.
house.
And man, there's so much poison ivy out there, but, oh my God.
Wasn't there poison ivy at the causeway?
Oh, yeah. It's
mean,
taken over
isn't
the whole small side and where the big sign is on the right side where the cook shack used to be for the Derby. It's all poison ivy. It's taking over up there.
That'll, you know, that'll leave an impression on the trespassers.
Big.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I get it. That's.
Yeah, it's terrible stuff.
Me too. I get it bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it so much. A little bit.
Rosie doesn't get it. Stockbridge Bowl stewardship, obviously, we're not going to get an update on that. Just a couple of things on the side. I know there's surveying like the drains and stuff on my road. Is that part of, why are they doing it, I guess? They were on
catch basins?
they're on the bridge, and I'm not sure if it's Foresight or whatever it is, but they were actually taking a shot of that drain between my house and Pete's. I have no, I should have gone over and just asked him, what are you guys doing? Anyway, so, okay, Tony and Mike, concerns?
No concerns.
No, just a couple of things. Across the street here, they're gonna put a 2-inch fire service in pretty soon. Wilkinson's is doing that. I wanna say, they gotta put a fire service in for, I wanna say it's one of the apartment houses, and then there's
Is
a barn
that
out.
Tracy's or the other one?
It's the one to the left of it.
Right here?
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe so. We're in between that and Reed White's.
Yeah, it's,
It's the one, that's not Roy's old house, it's the one this way,
okay.
2 over from Tracy's.
Oh, okay.
When it kind of sits back, and then I think
everything back
there's
there.
another building behind it, yeah, they're putting fire service in there, so. That'll be a 2-inch tap, that'll be coming up for us, and then, we did a service yesterday. Wilkinson's did a service down on, end of Park Street for one of the houses, it was just a service replacement, so that, they finished up cleaning that up today, so, other than that, all good.
Okay.
There was one thing that came up a couple weeks ago that was a pretty good find. It's going to work in our favor eventually. Got a call from the Director of Operations at the Red Lion, Matt Barnard. And they were having an intermittent sewer smell, like around the courtyard area and the back of the bank bar and area. So they were doing some other work and they discovered a sewer manhole it was kind of unknown to everyone. And come to find out, most of that roof over the kitchen area and near the courtyard was tied into it.
No kidding.
So that's why they were getting the sewage smell up through the downspouts and out the gutters. So with that said, he's been in touch with Hugh and they're working on a plan to obviously, remove it. And they're figuring out the best course of action to get it into the storm sewer, to the storm drain. So
Well, that'll help.
yes, it's going to help a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good find. We've always suspected, but I mean, we've tried smoke and everything else, but I don't know. Sometimes if there's a little trap of water somewhere sitting there, it won't go through it, obviously.
Didn't Ned find something also at one time, a while ago?
Yeah, when they did the south wing expansion,
Yeah.
I can't remember if I know they put dry wells in to accommodate some of the water, and I can't remember why, but it was quite a while ago. But I don't know if that was sewer related or not.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That was all roof leaders tied into the sewer,
Yeah.
and then they put infiltrators down through the parking lot to take the water, yeah.
Right.
so hopefully, we talked about it at our DPW meeting this morning, and rather than demand them to do it immediately, and it's been going on for a while, they're going to definitely
They're going to do it.
taking a course of action. They're having an engineer look at the surface area of the roof, and during a major rain event, so a 12-inch sewer has been accommodating it in the street, so I would think at least a 12-inch storm drain would have to be a prudent, because you take another surface water too from the street and everything, so you're adding more capacity. But
They may try to work in an infiltrator too.
Yeah, at this point, they're looking at the storm drains,
Yeah.
but stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
It was a good find.
yeah, that's a great find. Nothing else, Barry? You want to make a motion?
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Thanks.